By the next day, they were all arrested. They got Vinny and Damien that day. They
Right.
got the father the next day. Somehow he escaped out of there. So the people that did it were in prison. You
Oh,
know,
oh, they ordered it from prison, you mean?
yeah, there wasn't even
Oh,
time for any
okay.
revenge or retaliation.
Okay. I mean, what, how did that I can't imagine that. I would be like
Well,
demented.
let me tell you, at that point in my career on the street, I had a callus over my heart, and I really didn't care about anything. I got to be honest with you.
Okay, because I'm wondering about that because I would be like demented.
Yeah, I mean, it happened. I watched it on the TV. I called my family, and my first thought was to go right away, not to show weakness, and start grabbing my father's people and put
Right,
whatever he had under my umbrella.
right.
And that's what
Um,
I did. My
okay.
cousin Ricky survived sorrow. He was in the hospital for a short time. He came home. As soon as Ricky came home, we brought him right on the street. And
Okay, can I ask you something? There's something you were saying that, I mean, I have a large family also, and they, everyone's dabbling in whatever. Um, what was it between you and your father that you couldn't speak, or what what am I trying to say here? What was the thing that you and your father fell out of? You don't have to go into it,
It
but
was a reason, yeah. Like, what was the main?
what was I don't understand that part, because even though I've got a huge family, we fight like cats and dogs, but ultimately, we're family. Do you see what I mean? But it seems to me what you were saying, that there was this real disconnect with your father. You don't have to go into the whole thing, but what caused that?
well, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be careful what I say. But prior to this incident, maybe a year before, um, they shot one of my guys, my father's crew, say it like that.
Uh-huh.
Beat one of them up in the neighborhood. At that time, I had a cast on my back. I just broke my back. This was in 2004. I'm
Ooh.
sorry, 1994. And I just broke my back, and I was laid up in my house. So now, after they shot my guy, I'm furious. And, the last thing we wanted in our structure under the Slummy faction was to stop fighting inside of our faction
Right.
because we'd fall apart. So I was called and said, listen, whatever's going on between you and your father, we have to straighten out. This can't go no further. So between that, we end up squashing that beef, and I let that go. The two incidents that he did. After that, he did something else I'm not going to talk about now. It'll come out in the book.
Mhm.
Sorry, I can't talk about it.
No, it's okay.
That really pissed me off. And
Okay.
that made the division that couldn't be healed. The breach
Oh,
couldn't be healed anymore.
yeah. It just seemed like there was this huge disconnect there, and I just
Yeah,
wondered what that was
you got
about.
to remember my father's mentality. He tried to run the family like a mafia family.
Right.
He was the boss. He don't want any of us to stray away.
Right.
And I won't listen to him. I'm out there now building $1 million drug business, loan shark business.
Yeah.
He's seeing the houses I'm buying, the cars, everything. He couldn't handle it.
Okay. Jealousy.
I don't think it was jealousy. I think it was a control factor. My
Oh, okay.
father had what he had. My father was no bum,
Did you
you
have to
know?
kick up money to him though? I mean,
No, never.
oh,
Never. No.
okay. Oh,
Who
Would
did
never
you
do
pick
that.
up to? Salemi back then?
I didn't kick out to anybody.
Really?
Well, the way that I came up, um, my dear friend Mark Rossetti, which actually spoke to him this morning, was a capo in the Patriarca family. And I was with him and his family on the street. And we all worked together and made money. There was never anybody ever asked me to kick up anything
Wow.
because our crew was actually the crew out there doing all the heavy things on the street, if you know what I mean.
Got it. So,
Agavish?
Gabisco. So, two things that I want to kind of unpack. The first is What was Salemi's reaction? So obviously, although you didn't kick up to him, you were kind of under him. The patriarchas are the overlying mob family. After this incident happened, granted it was mostly associates. What was Salemi's reaction to all this?
Well, Frankie and Bobby DeLuca, his underboss, were in prison at the time of Plymouth.
Okay.
And my father, originally, Frankie put him under Bobby. Bobby DeLuca was the underboss in Rhode Island.
Correct.
And my father was close friends with him.
Okay.
So that was his guy at the time, you know. But when they went away, Frankie's brother Jackie was left there as the captain.
Got it.
And everybody out there was basically supposed to be under Jackie. Now, Jackie was no man's man, no tough guy, didn't even deserve to be there, but he was Frankie's brother, and we put up with it.
Got it.
You know, so I had to listen to a point. I understood where Jackie was coming from, tremendous,